Hi, good morning everyone. In my yesterday PPT of Introductory Econometrics, I have shared the basics concepts of econometrics, in which I have covered the definition of econometrics, the types of economic data, the steps in econometric analysis, and I also talked about the sample and population regression function and the regression analysis. Okay, so why this video lecture today? Because today, as I promised, I am going to cover the assumptions of classical linear model, and I believe that the understanding the assumptions are very important, as it will lead you to make you understand in any analysis which you will be covering later on. So that's why these assumptions are important, and this assumption requires me to explain with the help of diagram, so that you can understand it in a better way. So for you to maximize the output from this lecture and also to understand each concepts carefully, I am making this lecture. So let's start with this lecture. And Okay, so to start with the assumptions, before I want you to understand the population regression function and the sample regression function, which I explained it to you yesterday in my PPT. But I think you need to understand the concept with the help of this diagram. So that's why this diagram. Okay, as I mentioned you, the population regression function is that it is the expected value of the dependent variable on the basis of some given value of the independent variable. So mathematically, we can write the population regression function as expected value of y for some given value of xi is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 xi. Okay, so to understand this definition, these pictures, as I mentioned you the theory of consumption yesterday, and I took as an example. So I am taking the same theory to make you understand this concept. So in consumption theory, I told you the level of consumption expenditure depends upon the level of income. Say for example, if we are taking 50 families, and if we want to understand their level of consumption expenditure, how much it depends upon the level of income. So and say for example, if these 50 families fall under the category of 10 or 5 income group, say for example 1000, 2000, 3000, and 4000. So these 50 family groups fall in this four level of income, or say 40 families fall in the four level of income group, and this represents the x-axis, which is the level of income, and y represents the consumption expenditures of the family. Okay, so suppose these are the 10 families whose consumption expenditure is this, and this, right? Whose income falls in one second. Whose income falls in 1,000 rupees, and there are some families whose consumption expenditure are these whose income falls under this 2,000, and similarly, so and so on. So what is this point on this line? These points are the estimated value of average value of this y, the consumption expenditure of the families whose income falls under 1,000 rupees, and this point is the expected or average value of y, or consumption expenditure of these families whose income falls in 2,000, and so on, right? So I hope now you understand this definition. The expected value of y, this y is this for these families whose income falls, income is given, this x is given, this for 1,000 rupees of income, all the expenditure, average expenditure, average consumption expenditure of these families are this. So if you connect all this line, all this point, this line will call as population regression line, and the function will be known as population regression function, which is this one, right? And this is beta 1, which is the intercept, and beta 2 is the slope of this line. Okay, so now I think I hope I made you understand the concept of population regression function. Here only I'll also talk about the sample regression function, which is the estimated value of. So how to write the sample regression function? It will be yi is equal to beta 1, yi hat is equal to beta 1 hat plus beta 2 hat xi plus mu I hat. we estimate this sample regression function from the population regression function. So that's why this hat, because this is not the actual value, these are the estimated values from the population. We have drawn this sample from the population and then we have estimated this and predicted this y for the actual y's. So this is the predicted values and or estimated values. So that's why we use hat. Why there is no hat in this xi? Why there is no hat in this xi? Why? Because this x's are given and we are not estimating x here. We are estimating or predicting the values of y. The expected value of y we are trying to predict with this help of this model. So I hope I am now clear, very much clear on the population regression function and the sample regression function, which I talked about it yesterday also. Now come to the assumptions part. Again, before understanding the assumptions, let me just make you understand about this simple linear regression. What is the simple linear regression? First, let me write the regression function yi is equal to yi cap is equal to beta 1 cap plus beta 2 xi plus mu I. So regression, as I mentioned you, it is the average value of the independent variable on given some value of independent variable. This is regression. What is the meaning of simple? Simple meaning that when the independent variable is 1, when there is only one independent variable, then it will be known as simple linear regression, and when it will be 2, the number of independent variable will be 2 or more than 2, it will be known as multiple regression. The concept of linear I'll just explain when in the assumptions part. So now I'll come to the assumptions part. Classical linear regression model, which I just mentioned, and assumptions. So what is the first assumptions? First assumption of this model is that regression model is linear in parameter. So let me write the regression model yi hat is equal to beta 1 hat plus beta 2 hat xi plus mu I. So regression model is, let me for understanding purpose I am relating this hat so that it looks easy. Okay, so regression model is linear in parameter. What does it mean? Parameters are beta 1 and beta 2. Linearity means the power of this beta 1 and beta 2 should be 1. Power, if you can see this has 1 power. So if the power of this beta 1 and beta 2 are 1, then it will be called as regression model is linear in parameter. We don't have to bother about the power of these variables x and y. Even if suppose if this example y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 xi square or plus beta 2 1 by xi, these all in these two the power of xi are not 1, but still the parameters power are 1. So these equations are also known as the regression model is linear in parameter. So I hope I am clear with this first assumption. Now the second assumption. Second assumption is it is about the x independent variable. X is non-stochastic. Stochastic means random. X is not a random. Rather, in other words, x is fixed in repeated sampling. This is very important. So let's understand this with the same diagram. X1, X2, X3. Okay. So as I mentioned you, there are 50 families and they have categorized in 4 income level. So X is fixed in repeated sampling means these all families income, I mean the consumption expenditure of these families whose income falls below this level of X, or you can say 1000 as I mentioned. Let me write 1000 only. 1000, 2000, 3000, and 4000. So these are the consumption expenditure of the families whose income falls in this 1000 level. So you see in all these observations of the consumption expenditure, the level of income remains the same. Means X is fixed in all this sample. Here also X is fixed in all this sample. So that's why this assumption X is non-stochastic or non-random. It is fixed in repeated sampling. So I hope I am clear with this assumption. If anyone has any doubt, you can please write in the comments and I'll make you understand. Third is about error term. Let me write the equation. So assumption number 3. Expected value of error term given some value of independent variable is 0. Okay, so what is the meaning of this particular assumption? Expected value of error term. Error term, what is error term? Error term is the difference between what these observations of actual values, actual y values of different families, and these points are the average or predicted values of these families in consumption expenditure. Okay, so what is error term? Error term is the difference between these actual y values and the predicted y values. Error term is the difference between these actual y values and the predicted y values. So the error terms which are above this line are the positive errors, and the errors which are the below this line are the negative ones. Similarly here. So expected means average. If you take the summation of all these, the positive ones will cancel out the negative ones, and therefore this 0. They will become the 0 if you take the average value of these. If you take the average value of all, then you have to sum and the divide. So in summation, the a plus 1 will cancel out the minus 1, and then that's why it becomes 0. So I hope I am clear with this assumption also. Now the fourth assumption. Fourth assumption is again about the error term. The variance of the error term given xi is some constant. Okay, so as I told you, these are the error terms. Variance means the spread, how much it spread, across this average value. So the variance, if you calculate like this spread are the constant. These are the constant through all this, this level of income. So that's why this definition or the assumption, the variance of ui given some xi is constant. I hope I am clear with this. If anyone has any doubt, you can please ask in the comments box. Now the fifth assumption. Fifth assumption is covariance of ui and uj is equal to 0. Again, same. Covariance means if there is ui and uj and whatever, so the serial correlation between this ui and uj will be 0. So I hope I am clear till now. So for this lecture, I am ending this here only because there are 5 more assumptions that I will cover in the next lecture. So please stay tuned and give me your feedback and comments, and please do watch the next lecture to understand all the assumptions of this CLRN model. Okay, for now, thank you so much.